My Domino's is here, dude. Huh? The sharp sound of the doorbell pierced my sleepy haze and pulled me back to the real world. Rattle.
Makoto.
Get out here. Kyoko, what's going on?
Indeed.
Hina just came to see me and she was white as a ghost. It sounds like something's happened. What? As soon as I heard those words, my heart started to beat a little faster. I suddenly found myself wide awake. She said for us to come to the rec room. The rec room? Okay, let's hurry. Makoto, Kyoko. Hina, what's wrong? Something's not right. In the rec room. What's inside? There was a window on the rec room door and I hurried to look inside. And when I did... Sakura? Yo, she's in the dead badass pose. Is she unconscious? She's sitting up in the chair like she's bowing her head.
Hey.
What's going on? Did something happen to her?
Huh?
I was just walking past and I happened to notice her through the window, but I couldn't get the door open. They need to draw her in pencil so she can be the true dead badass. I tried knocking, I tried calling her name, but she wouldn't respond. So what should we do? What are we gonna do?
Anyway.
First of all, we need to get into that room, but the door's locked, right? And if we break in, we'll be violating school regulations.
Listen to me.
We're going to force our way in. I just said
Wrong.
the door isn't locked. It's not locked because the rec room door doesn't have a lock. Huh? Then why?
It would seem...
It feels like the door is pressing up against something inside the room. Is it the chair?
In other words...
Either way, this door isn't locked, which means, as far as I can tell, the rule doesn't apply. Then there's no problem if we break in?
Indeed.
Let's smash the window. That should be the fastest way. Okay, I'll get something to break it with. Wait right here. Inside the rec room, Sakura still hadn't moved an inch. She's just unconscious, right? Is she okay? I mean, it's Sakura, so I'm sure... Kyoko didn't reply. There was only silence, but that silence didn't last long. Here! I found a broom! In the classroom! Use it!
Makoto.
You can handle this, right, Makoto?
Please!
Please, hurry! Okay, you two, stand back! I took hold of the broom and swung as hard as I could. Aiming directly at the window, all it took was one solid hit. Crash! The window shattered into 100 pieces exactly, scattering across the rec room floor. I stuck my hand through the now open window and started jostling the chair leaning against the door. The chair's pretty heavy, but if I can just... I pushed on it with all my strength and finally the knob turned. Sakura! I ran up to her as fast as I could, but the moment I laid my hand on her... They did it! They drew her in pencil! Dead badass. I called it. Perfection. All I felt was cold death. I could feel only the last lingering warmth of a living body. Life had abandoned Sakura's body. And then... Ding dong, ding dong.
A body has been discovered. After a certain amount of time, which you may
She
use
got poisoned,
however you
dude. They
like,
poisoned her
the class
creatine
trial
powder.
will
Ripping
begin.
pepperonis. All-Star Apologies. Chapter 4, Deadly Life. Danganronpa. Beep, 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 beep.
Huh? Sakura's dead? She's really dead?
I heard Hina talking, but my eyes stared steadily forward. I could only look on at Sakura's dead body. Rip, dude. We didn't make it here in time. It's happened again. Muttering to herself, Kyoko began to gently inspect Sakura's body. I wondered, was she confirming that Sakura was really dead? Checking for a pulse or a reaction? I have to get them. I have to go get the others. On shaky legs, Hina left the rec room. And why? Why did this have to happen? That's all I could say. I repeated it over and over again. I need to examine Sakura's body. I just stood there motionless behind her while she checked Sakura's corpse. Time passed. While I stood there unable to do a thing, time just passed. And after I don't know how long, I got everyone.
What?
Ogre?
Yes,
Oh, so she's dead, huh?
I see.
Sakura's been killed, I see. As soon as they arrived, Kyoko began.
Just a second.
You heard the announcement just now, right? So you know what this means. Sakura was murdered, and by someone in this very room. Is that what you were going to say?
Huh?
No. Whoever killed her, it's not just someone in this room.
It's your
It was
fault.
one of you. Hiro Byakuya Toko, one of you killed Sakura.
What?
You're accusing us before you've even begun the investigation? I don't need to investigate anything, because you hated her. You hated the sight of her.
I won't.
One of you did it. I know it. You know it? Jeez, I didn't know your power level would increase that much just by getting mad.
What the heck?
What are you doing here?
Come on!
Isn't it obvious? I'm here to hand out my little murder flyer.
It's the Monokuma file!
And don't get so mad, Miss Asahina, or you're gonna ruin that lewd little face of yours. Now then, with that, Hold on. There's something I want to ask you.
Huh?
It was you, wasn't it? You killed Sakura?
Say what?
Uh-huh. Sakura wanted to challenge the mastermind to a duel. Maybe you and her fought again and then
In other words...
then I killed her? Sorry, not quite. Actually, not even close. That whole thing is totally irrelevant now. Sakura came to a most regrettable end without even getting the chance to finish things with me. Which, thank God for that. It saved me the trouble of having to go through with our little fight. Because even for someone like me, it would have been no mean feat to take down a behemoth like that.
Hey!
I gotta tell you, I was actually pretty worried. I mean, she'd violated a rule by attacking me in the first place, but I wasn't able to punish her.
Well,
So I don't know who it was, but whoever the blackened is this time, I owe you one.
What is this?
You owe them one. Oopsie. Before you get all pissy-potty at me, you better figure out who did it first. Because, I mean, your lives are all on the line, right?
What is this?
What the hell? He owes them one?
I won't
I hate
forgive
him.
you.
I hate this whole thing. Well, I, for one, am glad it was Sakura. She was working for the mastermind after all. How can you say that now? Sorry, I don't have time for your squabbling. The next game has already begun. If you want to be angry at someone, be angry at whoever killed Sakura.
Anyway,
Right now, our top priority needs to be uncovering Sakura's killer. If we can't do that, we're all dead. Then let's decide who will stand guard this time. I'll do it. Hina? I'm okay. Just let me handle it. Besides, I want to be here with Sakura.
That's fine.
Okay, then Hina is guard number 1, but we need one more. Kyoko, that's you.
what?
Me? You're always a thorn in my side. This time just stand by and watch quietly. Consider that an order. An order?
That's fine.
Fine, I'll stay behind. Then it's settled. Let's begin, shall we? Hold on. Before that, there's something I want to say,
What?
which is... Hiro Byakuya Toko, none of you are allowed to step foot in the crime scene.
Huh?
What?
It's your fault.
One of you killed Sakura.
I won't forgive you.
I won't let someone like that come anywhere near her.
Stop talking.
Don't be stupid. Our lives are in just as much danger as yours. We have every right to investigate. I don't care what you say. I'm not letting the one who killed Sakura anywhere near her. Even if it means I have to use force, you're not getting in here. Well, it appears further discussion will be a waste of time. How about a compromise?
It's all clear.
I won't ask you to let all of us in. Just let me.
What?
You don't really care, do you? You're both useless anyway.
Yep.
Nope, don't really care. I'd rather spend my time coming up with another splendid fantasy involving Master anyway. And you, Hero, do you really object? If you're gonna go that far, what can I do? I mean, I don't have anything to hide, so why should I care?
It's all clear.
Then it's decided.
What are you saying?
Nothing's decided.
Calm down.
I know how you feel, Hina, but you should agree to his request. But
Hey,
We have to find out who killed Sakura,
Correct.
for those of us still alive, and to honor Sakura's memory. Fine, I guess that's okay. But no matter what, Byakuya, you absolutely aren't allowed to touch her. Naturally, who would want to touch a filthy dead body?
Listen.
That's enough fighting. We need to focus on the investigation from here on out. Everyone, keep this in mind. If we can't uncover Sakura's killer,
Listen to me.
all of us face execution. Finding out who killed Sakura, it's not a matter of hoping we can do it. If we want to survive, we have to do it. It's a kind of hopeless hope. We have no choice but to just do it! Investigator. I better check the Monokuma file before anything else. The victim was Sakura Ogami. The time of death is estimated to be around 12 noon. The body was discovered in the rec room on the 3rd floor of the school. There is evidence of a strong blow to the victim's head. No other injuries were noted. However, it seems that at some point the victim suffered from violent vomiting of blood. Oof. Later, Livy.
Hey,
I think the case this time might be a challenge. Why is that?
so...
The only way into the rec room is the door we just came through, and that door had been jammed shut with the chair from inside the rec room, which means the killer would have had to escape somehow after barring the door. So, if the door was blocked from the inside and there was no way in or out till we broke the window, there's like zero escape, right? No, that's a different series of games, dude.
In other words...
This is a classic locked room murder. Locked room murder? I guess you might see this kind of thing a lot in mystery movies or books or whatever. But could it really happen in real life and right before our very eyes like this?
Hey,
Are you curious to hear more about what a locked room murder entails? Sure, if you don't mind.
that's fine.
When you break down this kind of murder mystery, there are 4 basic types. The first type is when the locked room is created after the actual crime is committed. This simply means the killer commits his crime, then through some special method seals the room. This mainly involves some sort of trick involving the locking of the room. Basic approaches include using a string or simple mechanism. There are a number of variations. So for that, all we'd have to do is check the door to see if that's what it was, right?
Correct.
Well, the second type is when the locked room already exists before the crime is committed. Oh?
In other words...
Basically, the killer uses a special contraption or tool from outside to target the victim inside. You push a switch and it fires a handgun. You shoot an arrow through a gap in the door, something like that.
However...
But in this case, that doesn't seem to fit. There are no guns or arrows in the school, and the door doesn't have a gap that would allow it. Yeah, I think we can probably cross that one off the list.
It's true.
The third type is when the killer stays in the room until it's opened up. What do you mean by that?
In other words...
They stay hidden, and when the door is open, they use the confusion to blend in with the group. They pretend they showed up along with everyone else, and that's that. It sounds like it could have been possible, maybe.
It's true.
And the fourth and final type is when it wasn't actually a locked room at all. Not a locked room.
In other words...
By that I mean there actually is an alternate escape route somewhere within the room. You see this a lot in novels and things, but in reality it's generally not possible. Then you think we can cross that one off too?
Indeed.
I believe so, yes. So when it comes to locked room mysteries, those are the basics. So there are 4 possibilities. Then Kyoko, which of those 4 cases seems the most likely in this case?
It's true.
It's a good question. Answering that should be our primary focus during this trial. Right now, I can't really say. It would be spoilers. I see. The way the killer set up the locked room, until I figure that out, the truth behind Sakura's death will stay hidden. It's definitely a tough mystery. I need to concentrate and investigate as much as I can. For Sakura, if nothing else. Alright, what all we got? We got a thingy. This looks like some kind of wrapper.
Huh?
That's... Do you recognize it, Hina? Well, yeah, I mean, I gave it to her. That's a candy wrapper. Sakura got super upset when she found out Genocide Jack had attacked me, right? So after we left the nurse's office, I gave it to her. I thought it might help her calm down a little. So you gave that candy to Sakura? I found a big box of it in the warehouse. I really like them. Actually, as soon as we could get into the warehouse, I took the entire box back to my room. I made sure nobody else could get their hands on them. You really like them that much?
I mean...
I wanted Sakura to get a chance to try one for herself. That's why I gave it to her. But now they've lost all their flavor. Cleaner. Polka dot candy wrapper has been added. There are shards of glass scattered all around the chair Sakura was sitting on. The glass is all red, and these are the top and bottom sections of a bottle, right? So this must have originally been a bottle. Glass shards on the floor has been added. Ah, there's something else on the ground near the glass. It's a figure. It fits in the palm of my hand. It's a Monokuma figure. With a Noit. It was up here. 2 of them are gone, though. There are 4 red bottles lined up on the shelf. There's no knight and no queen. And inside each bottle, there's some kind of Monokuma figure. What I'm wondering is, how'd they get those figures inside the bottles?
So...
It's no different from your standard ship in a bottle. Huh? You know, where the bottle's opening is smaller than the boat placed inside. You've never seen that? Oh yeah, maybe I have.
In other words...
So this is the Monokuma version of that. A Monokuma bottle, if you will. 2 are missing, dude. Where's the queen? I feel like I'm finally starting to make sense of things little by little. The Monokuma bottle's sitting on the shelf. The Monokuma figure we found on the ground. The red shards of glass, which probably started out as a bottle. Which would mean Sakura must have been hit in the head with a Monokuma bottle, right? The shards of glass in the figure are evidence of that, so I think it's safe to say the Monokuma bottle was the weapon. Huh? The locker's open and there on the inside, it's a handprint?
Why?
What's a handprint doing here? It looks like someone touched the inside of the locker and it left a handprint in all the dust.
It's true.
And it looks quite fresh, too. I'd say someone was hiding here in the locker and they left behind a little something extra. So then, maybe the killer hid in here until the locked room was open, don't you think? And during all the confusion, they popped out and joined the rest of the group.
Wrong.
Unfortunately, that's not a possibility. Huh? Why not?
Hey.
Think back. Before we opened the door, we looked inside the room, right? Oh yeah, the locker was already open at that point.
Indeed.
So there's no way someone could have hidden in there until after we opened the door. Yeah, so then, what does this handprint mean? Handprinto. That same shelf full of magazines. There's all different kinds here. Okay. Look at the pink goo. There's a blood stain in front of the magazine shelf. It must have come from Sakura, right? But that doesn't make sense. Why is it so far away from where she died? Sakura drew her last breath sitting slumped forward in this chair. There's obvious evidence of the blow to the head Sakura suffered. Normally, I wouldn't have any problem believing that's what killed her, but according to the Monokuma file, she also vomited blood. And I can see a trace of blood on her lips for sure. So, what would have caused her to vomit blood? The Monokuma file specifically said she hadn't suffered any other injuries. Poison, you papaga. Maybe her getting hit on the head somehow caused her to start vomiting blood? Not a chance. Byakuya. However, your eyes have landed on a most interesting location. Interesting?
Naturally.
Yes, most interesting, don't you agree? No, I don't think I'd call it interesting. But it does activate my almonds. The reason Sakura vomited blood absolutely has to be connected to why she died.
What the heck?
We already know who did it. Byakuya, Toko, or Hiro. It had to be one of them. They couldn't stand the sight of her. You agree with me, don't you, Makoto? Well, I don't want to say anything for sure without finding out more. Then let me help you find out more. You see, Sakura asked all 3 of them to meet with her. You know where? Right here in the rec room. What? After I went to the nurse's office this morning, Sakura and I both left together, right? Well, eventually she went off on her own. But when I saw her again after that, she told me. She said she'd left a note for each of them. She asked them to meet her in the rec room by noon. By noon, the Monokuma file said she died right around then. I'm telling you the truth, I heard it right from Sakura herself. And I tried to stop her, but she wouldn't listen. She said not to worry, that she just wanted to talk to them. And this is what happened. If I'd stopped her, by force even, this never would have happened. Ina, it's impossible not to have regrets, I know. Count has been added. But the fact that she had asked those three to meet with her, and she asked them to come to the rec room at noon at the same time and place she ended up dying, it might be good to confirm what I just heard with the three of them directly.
However,
But for Sakura to have been killed, yeah, she's not the type who would go down without a fight.
it's true.
And she certainly didn't, I would say. She was the ultimate martial artist, strong in body, mind, and spirit. So how was the killer able to get the upper hand on her? I wonder, did someone get the upper hand? They must have taken her by surprise, right?
Certainly.
Certainly they would have needed to if they expected to stand any chance against her.
What?
What do you want? You're bothering me. There's something I'd like to talk to you about. Make it quick. Is it true that Sakura asked you to meet her in the rec room? So, you found out. Interesting. Then it's true? I did receive a note to that effect, yes. What fool would do what it said and risk being killed by that monster? So you didn't go see her? Of course not. I ripped the note to shreds and threw it away. I haven't seen Sakura today at all. Byakuya says you didn't go see her. Is that the truth? Well, until I can prove otherwise, I have no choice but to accept it as fact.
Come on.
If you're all finished, please remove yourself from my sight. Okay, thanks. Thank you, sir. There's some kind of plastic container rolling around near the entrance to the room.
So...
It looks like a protein drink, and it's empty. Sakura must have drank it. Everyone knows how much she loved her protein. And she mentioned more than once how protein was good for all sorts of ailments.
Wrong.
I wouldn't take that to heart if I were you. I know. But still, this protein can, it's got a label on it that says Chem A2. That reminds me, Sakura mentioned how the Chem lab had all kinds of health stuff. So she must have gotten this from the Chem lab.
Just a second.
That's strange. Huh? What is?
Hey,
You see what's scattered around the can? Shards of light blue glass. They must be part of the window I broke to get inside.
correct.
But they aren't just scattered around the can, they're also underneath it. Why does that matter?
So...
I can't say for sure yet, but you're probably going to want to take note of it. I feel like it'll become an important clue later on. Nudge. An important clue, I'm not sure I see how. Empty protein drink has been added. Is there any other crap to observe? You can look at the clock, I guess. It's around 1 o'clock right now. According to the Monokuma file, Sakura died around 12 noon, so roughly an hour ago. Was that when Kyoko and I were moving Alter Ego? Oh, here's the chair that was in the way. The chair was shoved up against the doorknob, so we couldn't get the door open. There's no evidence that any kind of string or mechanism was used on the chair. In other words, there's no reason to think the chair had anything special done to it. Can I leave now? Did I look at everything? This door is the only way in or out of the rec room. The door doesn't have a lock, and there's no evidence that the mountings have been tampered with. The only notable change to the door is the smashed window, which happened, of course, when I broke it to get inside. There's no evidence that any kind of string or mechanism was used on the door. In other words, I don't see anything suspicious about the door itself. Having examined both the door and the chair, there's no doubt the reason the door didn't open was simply because the chair was shoved up against it. This kept the doorknob from turning and the door from opening. There was no evidence of the door or chair being tampered with or anything like that. So the killer must have created the locked door from the inside, not from the outside. The door has been added.
Listen.
Well, Makoto, have you finished with your general investigation? Yeah, I think so, for the most part.
So then,
You should probably go talk with people now. I'm on guard duty, so I can't leave.
listen to me.
Which is why I've decided you'll go in my place. She's decided? She's gotten a lot more pushy since we had our issue. But she's right, I do have to go talk to the others. Sakura wanted to meet with 2 other people. I need to hear what they have to say. Where did we go? Those other 2 probably went back to their rooms.